Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Silver Cosmo Movie Reviews.
Yeah. Slipping and sliding through the current of the cosmos. It's Captain Chris with a K.
Hey, it's your friendly neighborhood movie buff, Mr. Brett.
And straight from the Fortress of Solitude is the off-brand Superman, Marquez Christopher Eason.
And your boy, Big Dog.
Venture off to the cinemas of the unknown regions of the galaxy. We are here at Silver Cosmo Movie Reviews, gives you your interstellar thoughts and experiences of the movies. Have a seat, relax, and enjoy the show. This is your host, Carlos. Guys, we're going to talk about Fantastic Four, Four Steps. Do not forget, we're going to be doing our movie ticket giveaway. We're going to do something big for Tron Ares. So we'll give you more details a little bit later on the show. And don't forget to follow us, like, and subscribe. Hit that smash button. Follow us also on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Until then, let's take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Hey guys, why don't you check out She Barber Cuts Barbershop and give Markeisha Brown, the licensed professional barber there, a call at 316-218-3566 for all your haircut needs. She's got cuts for kids, adults, and for those looking for the good one, the deluxe with beard trims, wash, and hot towels. So don't forget to give Markeisha a call at She Barber Cuts and see her at 2319 North Ridge, Barber Suite 6A here in Wichita, Kansas.
We have Blast Off in
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Fantastic Four Steps.
Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Ebon Moss Bachrach.
Joseph Quinn, Juliet Garner, Sarah Niles.
And Mark, I know I'm mispronouncing it, Jatis and Natasha Leon.
And Paul Walker, Hauser, and Ralph Ineson.
Directed by Matt Shackman. All right, it's Fantastic Four First Steps. You guys, I was a little excited because it's Fantastic Four.
Your favorite.
First steps. Okay.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen it and you don't want us to give it away, then Houston, we have a problem.
Houston, we have a problem.
Let's go ahead and dive into the show. Fantastic Four First Steps. You guys, this was an anticipated Marvel movie, you know, after some other priors that we had. I mean, we've watched the Thunderbolts and Brave New World, Captain America. Let's start off with the bases here. So we know already that Pedro Pascal has already been doing a couple Disney, you know, especially with Mandalorian. He's been also in Wonder Woman. He's just a sought out actor right now. And what did you think about the flow of this movie? I'm going to start this off with you, Chris.
Well, I really liked the setting. I liked that they jumped right into it. Kind of like it wasn't the origin stories per se.
Yeah.
Again, it's a well-known superhero group, and their origins are well known. They did briefly talk about how they got it and such, but I like that they really got right into the story. And I thought the acting, that they had great actors. I thought the pacing was done really well. Kept you on your edge, but it wasn't just action that kept you on the edge. There was a lot of interpersonal conflict and drama that kept you on on the edge of your seat, as well as personal conflict and drama, I think, even with some of the characters. So almost really each of them, so I really enjoyed that portion of it, kind of how it flowed like that.
Yeah, yeah, like I said, the fluency of the story was great. I mean, it didn't seem like it dragged. It just everything was. They made it simple. They made it not too complicated to where you could sit down and enjoy and you know, it didn't have to be so action packed and so dramatic at all parts. Where I think for me, that's kind of like where the new Superman movie kind of missed a little bit, where everyone was just so over emotional, so over the top. But that's how I viewed it.
Yeah, for me personally, like you said, Chris, I like the setting because I don't know why, but it's the one Marvel property, even if with modern takes on it, it still feels very dated. I don't know if it's just the characters themselves, their powers, the way they relate to each other. But something about the Fantastic Four that I've always felt like it just seemed like they just felt dated, and they kind of played to that. You know, I feel like whoever did the set pieces and all that, they kind of knew, you know, okay, this is one of Marvel's oldest superhero teams, so let's kind of go with the whole 1960s idea of what the future with high tech would be like, you know. But other than that, I really had a good time with this. Honestly, I didn't think I would. Honestly, because I remember I was never a huge fan of the Fantastic Four in the comic.
2 thumbs down.
I was always happy when they showed up. You know, I like the fact that they've been involved in pretty much every major Marvel conflict that there ever was. You know, the Civil War, you know, the Infinity Crusade, and all that stuff like that. And but I never really I want to go get a Fantastic Four comic book. You know, but that's kind of my take on it. I think the movie really did well. It was a good time. It was just a great time at the movie.
Yeah, I just enjoyed the movie, the flow of it. Just like it was said earlier, just basic to the point, and the setting was, you know, just where it needed to be. Get people to relate to it and understand the movie, and then as it flowed, you know, it just everything followed in place, and it ain't like you felt like you were lost in the movie. You could kind of understand where the movie was going and how things were set up.
The way I saw this movie just made me had this nostalgia going back and remembering. If you guys don't recall, do you guys remember the '90s? They did a movie, The Fantastic Four, in the '90s. It was kind of cheesy for its time.
Was
It's
it
okay.
a, like made for TV movie?
Yeah, it was, and the thing had this grovelly.
You know, like I saw. I mean, it was '90s special effects too.
Yeah.
Like it was a foam character. Like,
Yeah,
But then and then when it was introduced with Jessica Alba, Michael Chiklis, and Chris Evans, that was a great movie. It was a great setup. I mean, the promoting.
yeah,
it was okay.
we
The-
could
hold on.
we could
The
agree
first
to
one.
disagree.
Okay, hold on.
The first one, but please not. No.
The second one was different. But anyways, back
Yeah.
to this one. Just bringing in, like I said, Pedro Pascal and Vanessa Kirby. That was just a great
Yeah,
way to have these two actors kind of set it off, and it brought back the essence of the family unity.
yeah.
Brought back
that's-
also not, and I agree what Brett said a while back. It's not about throwing all this action in my face, and then I have to catch up. I have to watch the other movies. It was standalone enough to where it just took care of itself, and I didn't have to go back and have to look at other prior Marvel movies. So, I mean, of course, for the ones that know already, the Thunderbolts, there was that end scene where they saw the Fantastic Four ship. And so that's a story for another day. Now, watching the flow of this movie going in, I mean, I was impressed with the Baxter building. I love the set there, the colors, the way it was projected. And then especially Galactus, watching the Herald of the Silver Surfer,
Shalabal.
Everything was great to that point. So I wouldn't say right off the bat, for people that have never watched it, I think it was self-explanatory. I don't feel that people have to go in. And if for the ones that want to know, I mean, of course, you know, hey, tune into Wichita Vice, and we're going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, and I want to say something about that part real quickly, Carlos. You kind of touched on something that I was always curious about. Like, you mentioned the previous Fantastic Four, the one in the early 2000s with Jessica Alba, and those. That was before Marvel was doing this whole shared universe, expansive cinematic theme. You know what I mean? That was before that, and that kind of makes me wonder, like, had that would have been included in that, how would that have worked? And it brings me to this one: how are they going to pluck them out of this 1960s aesthetic and put them in a more modern cinematic Marvel movie universe? That's going to be interesting to see. That's what I'm looking forward to, just to see how the Fantastic Four assimilates into the current Marvel landscape. As far
There'll
as
have to be some. Well, I think Thunderbolts kind of shows how they're going to get there.
Yeah,
it's going to be another space journey that
a different,
because they're in their ship showing up at that post credits of Thunderbolts.
Maybe they hit a temporal, space there, and make them jump ahead and future.
And big spoiler alert! It does say at the end they're going to return in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, big spoiler alert, but I'm betting Mr. Doom
is going to have something to do with
takes the child to the 616 universe,
and that's what brings them over.
Yeah, I'm calling it now, guys. Okay.
I could definitely see it having something to do with the kid.
I'm still curious to know how in the world he got inside the house. First of all, how did that work?
He's Dr. Doom,
It's Dr. Doom, man,
or Tony Stark, or whatever they're doing. I know.
Well, so Don, explain to me, what was your take on how the movie reflect? Did it reflect like just another superhero movie? Did you feel this was an entertaining movie? How would you compare this movie per se from like prior, like Thunderbolts, like we said, Thunderbolts and Brave New World, and then Kraven the Hunter? Because we know those movies, Thunderbolts did kind of bring them back up, but I mean they've struggled with Brave New World and they struggled with Kraven, and they've just Marvel has not been hitting their mark. What made this movie you feel acceptable, unacceptable? What makes the movie viewer want to go see this movie?
You got to remember with Craven, even though it's part of Marvel, it was mostly Sony that took care of that.
Mm-hmm.
They've been struggling ever since, with the exception of Spider. Now with this movie, what I felt where it's a little better. It's just that it had the whole family aesthetic, like you said, and it has better flow. And then, like you said, it's a standalone where you don't have to go back and do research to try to figure out how they came about. It kind of, did it itself, and it kind of jumps ahead to where, they've been together for a while, and they've been together fighting crime and protecting people. And then now, they have a child. In the previous movies, they didn't have a child yet. So now they've taken it to this storyline, this timeline in their lives where they're about to have a child. And we all know that he becomes one of the most powerful in the whole entire MCU multiverse. So I think this is what, it's simple that what makes this movie better than anything else right now.
What are your thoughts, Marquez?
Yeah, the whole family dynamic was really, really good to play on there. I think they did that really well. People sticking together. And this is something that I hope isn't lost on people. I hope people can see, just in spite of their differences, in spite of how each of them feel, they're always come together when it's needed. You know what I mean? That was a part of, to me, that I felt like was really touching, and I feel like we need more of that in movies. Just that really heartfelt. Okay, I feel like the child is one of the things that brought them together. Them having a child, that really made them more of a closely knit family, a tighter unit. You know what I mean? Because they all were willing to sacrifice everything for that child. And it's one of the things that really shocked me after I left the theater. I didn't realize it, when I was watching it, because I was just trying to see, who is all this? I had no idea that Galactus could, I don't know, pass on his hunger to another being. You know what I mean? That was sorry, spoiler alert.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
But no, that was a new thing.
It was an interesting choice.
I had no idea. Like I say, I'm not that familiar with the Fantastic Four in the comics, but that was something new to me. I'm like, he doesn't want to be a world destroyer. I thought that Galactus initially in the comic was just one of those beings that was supposed to birth a new universe. That's why he eats planets, is to fuel the birth, the death, and the birth of a new universe. It's like a cycle. He's a part of that cycle. So I felt like, okay, well, that's different. But
in
okay,
the movie, I was saying the movies, or in this movie, it definitely was didn't seem like a cycle. It seemed like the end of a cycle.
That's what I'm saying. He just hungered.
I just eat it.
I would take this Galactus over the ones like the one that you talked about, that second Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
That
was hard to watch.
Brett was excited when he saw Mr. Fantastic try to dance.
I also like that these were, for the most part, they were older characters. Like, I mean, Pedro Pascal is in his 50s, Vanessa Kirby's in her 40s. Like, when Jessica Alba and them did it, like, I felt like, I've always felt like the Fantastic Four, Mr. Fantastic is late 40s, early 50s guy. Sue's going to be in that. She's always a little younger, but 10 years is acceptable. So 30,
so they
late 30s.
Seasoned.
And then she's got a little brother who's in his late 20s. Okay. So I don't know. I felt that casting really worked a lot better than they have in the previous casting. I thought the first one back in the early 2000s was good. It was okay with Jessica Alba, and I don't remember anyone else's name. Michael Chiklis, he was Ben Grimm in that one. Chris Evans was. But anyway,
wow, you don't know Mr. Fantastic.
I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
he's a minor actor, I guess. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Hit us up in the comments. We'll bring you on the show.
When we do the Silver
I just
Classics, you better have that ready, Chris.
I thought the thought the casting was really well, and they were such good actors. The guy that played Johnny Storm, he's not a ripped model like Chris Evans, but I thought he was a much better actor for this character, at least at that time in Chris Evans' career. I'm not going to speculate as to his acting now. He's done a pretty good job mostly, but his Johnny Storm was just the fire guy.
Yeah, that was
where there was actually some depth to Joseph Quinn's character,
right, and
all of them had much more depth, I thought.
And that's I'm glad you brought that up, because depth is what grounds the movie, and it makes it to where it doesn't fall over into logical absurdities.
Especially
you have characters like this with powers, and I think the depth is what keeps them grounded.
Johan Grufel. Jan, I don't know how to say it.
He's on the TV series, isn't he? He's on the TV. Limitless. I can't remember. No, I can't remember. He's on a show. Anyway, but here, how about this? I wanted to bring this up.
He did a fine job. He just
watching this movie itself. You're in competition with Superman. That was been the July kind of box office. If you took these two shows together and you had to take one home,
I don't think
what would be
that, man.
Oh,
that's two different stories.
What I'm gonna say.
I know what you're gonna say, but it's like two different types of story. You got a single Superman
but he had
alien and humans that have been changed.
Yeah,
that are a family unit. That are full on family. None of the, you know what I mean? Like they have that full.
Let me. Okay, you guys go ahead, because I could talk about this for a while. Okay, go ahead.
Summarize it.
Apples and
Okay,
oranges.
I'll summarize it as best I can. Like you said, two different types of stories. I mean, people have a tendency to put superhero movies all in the same category, and I don't think that's really fair, because they all have something different to offer. It's not just spectacle, and it's not just the power. It's how they use their power. That's where the story comes in.
Well,
and
it's not like I'm comparing Mona to the Punisher or something.
Well, no. I mean, now I have to say, Superman, for me personally, not just because I grew up as a Superman fan, but no, just the father-son dynamic with Paul Kent. That was something that really stood out. I told you guys about that in the last, and Fantastic Four, like I say, the family unit, really. But for me, the Superman part, it was just, I've been anticipating them to portray Superman in this way, being kind to people. A lot of people
everything.
People look at being kind like a character flaw, almost like there's something wrong with you. I remember my mom, one time I was having a relationship issue, just to get a little personal, and the girl said I was too nice. And my mom said, you need to get away from that. My mom had some pretty harsh language. My mom said that is one. My mom said that is one stupid girl. She really related into it.
Yeah.
She said, "What is wrong with being kind?" She said, "Ask her that." And I thought that Superman portrayed that really well. A nice, kind-hearted individual is who you want. When because I think power without compassion can only breed destruction.
Well, and I think there was definitely a lot of kindness in Fantastic Four. To me, it was the personal, like Superman was a fully personal journey for Superman, almost to the point that, and we talked about this on the other Silver Cosmos. Maybe there's a link going to be somewhere popping up here for you guys to go to listen to that too. But how that was almost where all the other characters were just just caricatures, because we didn't get into them at all. We just were on Superman's personal journey of self-discovery and growth and all.
It's a coming of age.
Whereas the Fantastic Four, you've got this family unit, and it's their growth together, which does include some personal growth as well. I mean, I think. Especially Mr. Fantastic seemed to really issue that growth, as well as I think Johnny Storm showed a lot of personal growth in his. But it was really that growth of them coming together, which I think is the whole point of Fantastic Four, is that they're fantastic together.
Yeah, more so than they could ever be on their own.
Fantastic Four.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
they came together.
I think that's unfair to put them up against each other.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, sue me.
They would work well together if they did. If they crossed over and did.
What was the like Barbenheimer or Barbenheimer? This
Yeah.
to be like the Super Force,
Yeah, those were the 2023 movie blockbusters.
Fantastic Man.
Well, let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about. I want to say when we're rating a movie, it's always about the script. It's talking about the portrayal of the characters and just the plot itself. How do you feel? How you felt? And I'm going to kick this off with you, Don. How did you feel about the plot itself? What did you like it? You didn't like it? What were your thoughts?
Oh, I liked it because, like I said, the story flowed, and they came up with a good story and how they had to defeat a common enemy, and everybody came together, even though they had adversity. When the entire world felt like, you're here to protect us, and why don't you just give up your child? But they were determined to find a way to save the world without having that be an option, and they followed it. I felt to me it went pretty well with that one.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah, the whole thing of fighting the unknown, because at that time Galactus to them was an unknown. They had no way to really, and being Reed Richards being an analytical person, if he doesn't have anything to go on, that makes him pretty much kind of useless in that situation. I mean,
Like that chalkboard scene, that was pretty.
Yeah, that was
he did a
good.
great job.
Yeah, that was really good, and I feel like the plot, it was actually ripped straight from the pages of the comic book. You know what I mean? That was actually, they did really well. I felt like great care was taken to pay homage to the comic book and the comic book creators. That was really good, personally.
the one cool thing about it, they didn't make Galactus a cloud this time.
Really, really bad.
You stole my line, Brett.
Yeah, sorry, but that was the biggest thing for me when I saw they really took care of making a Galactus, and it looked flawless. I was like,
Yeah.
oh.
And one thing I wanted to do say, Brett, that was awesome. The detail work on it. Good job on the special effects team.
Yes, it
Yeah,
They
man,
made them
he looked
all
good.
detailed with everything. That was
the plugs in his back, and it was just wonderful. The special effects.
And he didn't sound like a big dummy. I mean, he was out there
No,
just
he's
talking,
one of
interactive.
the smartest beings in the universe.
Yeah.
He's
and then also how Ben Grimm's character, he usually they made him like this big just dumb box of rocks that they usually make him in the other movies, but they made it like this kind this he's big and strong, but he's loving, he's a caring guy.
He reminds me of Gordon Ramsay on steroids.
Come on, man.
I just need it.
This is the lamb.
Where's the lamb sauce?
That's
yeah, but and they
he
blew
loved
that
the kitchen. Remember how he loved the
Yeah.
kitchen? He's tasted the soup, and I'm like,
Yeah,
what
that
is he
was cool.
doing?
Yeah,
Exactly.
cool.
But that's my takeaways from it. Though.
I did like, and he had his little personal growth of, trying to self-acceptance really, and even to the point that he'll, loves himself enough to then, try to love somebody else, which I think that hopefully that goes somewhere. I love Natasha Lyonne, the actress. And I think that would be a really cool growth for that character. I thought the plot was pretty well done. There wasn't, you're already at a suspension of disbelief. You're in a different Earth.
yeah.
to get started, like literally right off the bat.
Yeah.
And so I thought they just did a really good job of, and I think that actually helps a lot of people that it was a new. They're not having to try to figure out, what did I miss the last series? Did I miss one of the last movies? Did I not see Captain America? Like, you don't have to have any of that to go into this. Now, their next one you will, because that's going to be Doomsday, but hopefully you got some time to catch up on stuff between now and then. But as far as this storyline, I thought it was good. I kind of wish they would have had a sequel before Doomsday, but hopefully they can get a sequel back. I thought the special effects, I mean, Disney's just on point with that. You're never like really disappointed for the most part. So but plot wise, I thought it was pretty strong. Interesting that they're like, we can't find anything, he's fine, and then Galactus is like, he's gonna take my hunger. Kind of seeing like there wasn't a lot of reasoning to it other than I guess he had been touched by the
The power cosmic.
Yeah, the power, which is how
Yeah.
they got all their powers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Cosmic, bombarded by cosmic rays.
So, but why are they not like? That's where that's the little plot. Like the person that he got the power cosmic front, like they're all standing in front of you. Why
Yeah.
why is it the little baby that I get, baby and
He's
creation, and
always-
so there's
yeah.
there's that mystery that you can do, but
Franklin
anyway.
Richards has always had some special.
it was a plot device, so it worked okay.
Yeah.
His car seat was made by Tesla, by the way.
For being a smart being, he seemed to get a little tricked, a little.
One thing
he's like, you didn't
Yeah.
scan that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, here's one thing I want to ask: is like, how did Sue Storm in this? How was she able to push Galactus in there? And I'm like, okay,
mom lifting a car off,
That's
for
what my
baby.
wife
That's
said.
yeah,
She's
like
a little disappointed.
it's that mama of
It was
like,
like the movie The Eternals. Remember the Eternals when those when the Celestials came? I mean, it was kind of like,
Yeah.
so you're telling me Sue Storm can take care of them?
No.
if they're going after a
Died
baby.
doing it. No,
Yeah.
I mean she died.
She almost
doing it.
did.
Yeah, so I don't think that's something that's. I mean, it's something she could regularly. You know,
I can push.
yeah, it's not like a. Oh, there you go.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps up the Silver Cause movie review on Fantastic Four First Steps. Let's go ahead and take a quick pause and thank our following sponsors.
Well, I don't know about you folks, but here at Sports Fellas, things can get, well, a nice right funk going on sometimes. And in that time of need, we turn to our friend Kimberly Sampson, our own personal Cincy independent consultant. She is our favorite star consultant, so for your scent needs, get a hold of Kimberly at heavenlyscents@gmail.com or visit her website, heavenlyscentswithkim.cincy.us. You can also call her at 316-282-7363. That's Kimberly Sampson at Cincy, our favorite independent consultant.
All right, we are here, you guys, with the Silver Cosmos movie lining, movie ratings. It's presented by She Cuts Barbers. So this is out of 4, Fantastic Four symbols. So out of 4 symbols, kicking off with you, Brett, how many 4 symbols do you give?
I give it 3.5. Reason I say that is because reason I say that is because what was it? It was cool and all that. The whole movie great, but her and how she was just pushing the Invisible Woman was about pushing Galactus into the thing. I was like, okay, come on now. But other than that, I mean, I really had no. I enjoyed it. It was a fun movie. 3.5.
Arguably, they say if the Fantastic Four, all 4 were to fight, they say Sue Storm would win. Arguably, they say that it's just something about her. You know, she controls energies that cannot be analyzed. You know, I mean, it's not just okay. She could turn invisible and there's force fields. You know.
That's like the simplest.
Yeah. To put something my son would say, she's built different, but no, I'd give it a 3.5. The reason why is because, like you said, I felt like Franklin Richards, the whole I felt like they could have done a little more with elaborating on that.
Right.
Why is this creature, this force, this cosmic being after our sun? I know we're cosmically enhanced, but there are other cosmically enhanced beings out there.
Right.
What makes this one so special? I felt like they could have done a little more with that.
Especially with all their research.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that they say when you have multiple characters in one movie is giving them all enough screen time. That I felt like that part it could have been done a little better, other than that. But yeah, 3.5.
I'm also gonna give it a 3.5, and I'm just piggybacking off everybody else about how was Sue Storm's force fields able to push back Galactus. But as big of a being he is, there's no way a force field is knocking this man back. I don't care how big and powerful, or how mad she gets, and to make her stronger,
she's built different.
That's what I'm saying.
It's Galactus,
What you think she is? Ford, built tough.
Probably so.
And I know, and Mr. Fantastic is a little more elastic than what Galactus is. It's about the
it was just
like
his
ability.
He's taffy, man. Stretching.
Yeah, he's
he
like,
could-
Mr. Armstrong, the dog.
Oh yeah, Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
Armstrong,
that.
keep going. It ain't gonna just
Rip him in
fabric,
half.
break. Because
Like a cold rubber band.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's just straight elastic. So other than that, the movie was great, and just those two key things in the fight scenes is like, come on now, could have done a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 3.5. A little bit of a different reason than you guys. I'm okay kind of with the plot hole. Again, it's a comic book movie. You've got to suspend disbelief to get into, okay, mom, Sue Storm's built strong and she's upset, got mom strength, Superman mom strength. Whatever, that's fine with me. Mine is a little bit, although Galactus is kind of a thing, he's also, as a villain, he's a little bit forgettable. Like, okay, well, now he's gone, so whatever. He wasn't that to me, like a great superhero movie needs a great villain.
Oh yeah.
And someone that's portraying not just a strong character, a Galactus type of character, but also a performance that matches that. And for me, that felt a little lackadaisical. It's hard to have the persona of Galactus. It's almost too big of a threat for an introductory movie from my point of view, because you need to build up to that as the galactic threat that it is, and not like, let's start with the planetary. I mean, I know that he's threatening the planet, but a more planetary based threat. Or even local solar system, something like, and because most of their stuff is based planetary. And one thing that I did like, one of the things that I think that shows Sue Storm is built differently, and she probably is the strongest of the Fantastic Four, is look at it. I think they did a great job in this movie of showing that she wasn't just the side character to Mr. Fantastic.
No,
like, she was out there. She was the one that made peace across the world. Essentially, like, she's the one that, like, he was up in his lab making more tech, and she was out
The ambassador,
right?
Yeah.
But she was getting it done too. So,
she's not a Lois Lane type.
yeah, no,
No.
she's out there. She's a mover and shaker.
Yeah.
Ask Galactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was definitely moving him.
So yeah, 3.5 for me.
I'm going to scale it a little bit down. I'm going to give it 3. It was family-oriented family. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I like, Fantastic Four is one of my favorite superhero groups itself. I just felt, and you nailed it on the dot. I know they didn't want to repeat Doctor Doom again. It's kind of like Batman, got Joker, or you got Superman, got Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
They're trying to go a different direction. And what Chris said was true. It's Galactus here. Maybe you could introduce somebody else to kind of get them started and then introduce going forward. But the Fantastic Four has a lot of other villains that give a hard time. It makes me reflect on Iron Man. In the first Iron Man, they had, Ironmonger. Then later on, they had Whiplash. I'm like, okay, Mickey Rourke, really? 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 I mean, we could have done something a little better than that, but it's okay.
I would have liked to see Galactus as a sequel. Like, at the end of Doomsday, they get home and all of a sudden Silver Surfer shows up. Like, and that's the cutscene, and you're like, oh, Galactus is coming.
Well,
something like build up.
Well, Chris, if they follow the comic book, Galactus will make his appearance again in the Secret Wars.
Oh yeah,
Because in the Secret Wars, he makes it. And he'd give everybody a hard.
I mean, obviously they transferred him or whatever,
Yeah.
so it was transported him somehow. I didn't quite understand.
To that world, so
Yeah.
something like Mortal Kombat or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, any final shout outs before we go?
Hey, shout out to the fellas here, just coming together, having fun time and having good discussions.
Thank you all for listening. Love you guys.
All right, shout out to the crew, and shout out to all our listeners out there, and always hi, mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, big shout out to the listeners, and big shout out to Marvel. Keep it up, guys. Good start off to this next phase.
Of course, give a shout out to the people behind the scenes as always. It's always love, appreciation. Thank you very much. Also, shout out to our local listeners as well. I've always showed love to the people that follow us. Kick it off with Justin, Tom, Sierra, Christian, and then our boy Ty Fighter. Tyler, that's out for you. For all our movie and comic book buffs that want to follow those two together, tune in over to Wichita Vice. We're going to also talk about the Fantastic Four. And be on the lookout, you guys. We are going to prepare for Tron Ares. So that's something in the works right now. In the meantime, stay tuned to the show. And like I said, like and subscribe. Until then, we'll see you soon. We're out.